Learn me, I'll learn you. Diversity, teach me, I teach you like university. Freedom be.
Hi, I'm Judy Blair, and I'm an anti-racism consultant specializing in working with white folks. I'm also a member of the team at Diverse City, and I'm really excited to be bringing you this video series. In this series, we're taking a look at 15 different aspects of white supremacy culture. Now, when I use the words white supremacy in this context, I'm not talking about white supremacists, Proud Boys, or white nationalists. What I'm talking about is the idea of white supremacy as the ideal, that whiteness is the norm, it is the default, it's what's assumed. The 15 aspects that we're discussing in this video series come from a list published in 1999 by Tema Okun, an anti-racist trainer and activist. The list itself is the culmination of work of many different people, including Tema, but also Kenneth Jones, Daniel Buford, James Williams, Sharon Martinez, and others. Over the past 2 decades, this list has served as a useful framework for recognizing, disrupting, and dismantling white supremacy in our day-to-day lives. I want to be really clear here that the values and norms this video series is addressing are not exclusive to Western white culture, and they are not inherently bad or good. They are merely often invisible ways that we just move through the world. They're a part of our socialization. If we want to create a more just and equitable world, we have to interrogate these values when we notice them coming up, checking to see if an alternate way of being might provide better or more equitable results. A word of caution, too. These norms should not be taken as a checklist of behaviors to eliminate, with the alternatives enshrined as the cure for all that ails us. Critical analysis and weighing of these norms when they crop up is vital. There is no shortcut to uprooting white supremacy. Each video in this series focuses on one aspect from the list, and today's aspect is progress is bigger, more. This one is often confused with quantity over quality, but progress is bigger or more is really asking us to examine how we're defining progress. Is progress more of something, bigger thing, whatever thing is, or is progress something different? Is it an expansion of the work that we do, or is it doing the work better? And how we define progress allows us to understand how we define or how we value the work that everyone is doing towards that progress. Something to consider when defining progress is, how is this affecting the future? If we are defining progress as more of something, what does that more of something look like? Let's say 7 generations down the road, to borrow from Indigenous folks. Is it actually good for that 7th generation? Or are we potentially creating something that they're not going to want? So this one just asks us to ask ourselves, what does progress mean? How are we defining progress? Because it doesn't have to be the default of more or bigger. It could be something else. But we won't know unless we ask.
Learn me, I'll learn you. Diversity, teach me, I teach you like